Now, we hear from time to time from Republicans, oh my God, this money that solar energy is getting, these green energy things, my God, they're bankrupting us, what's happening? Now, what they don't tell you about is, of course, the oil subsidies that we've been telling you about, which range from $4 to $7 billion a year, right? Now, one industry that's part of energy that has not really been talked about a lot is nuclear industry. And it's a terrific article in The Guardian written by Bernie Sanders, a senator from Vermont, and Ryan Alexander, who heads a watchdog group. And they explain how much of government money actually goes to the nuclear industry. Well, since 1948, the federal government has spent more than $95 billion on nuclear research and development. So, whoa, that's a ton of money, right? That's our money going to the pockets of for-profit companies that are in the nuclear energy business. Well, that must be it, right? I mean, we couldn't have put it any more than $95 billion. Wrong again, Bob. So, federal liability insurance programs, most recently extended through 2025, equal $12.6 billion. So that's another subsidy that we're giving to this for-profit corporations. How about taxpayer-backed loan guarantees? Well, that's another $18.5 billion. So what are we looking at there? Over $125 billion. These guys aren't nonprofit. They don't make the nuclear energy and just give it to us for free. They're for-profit companies. In fact, the largest one, Exelon, has $33 billion in revenue annually. Entergy is the second largest one, has $11 billion in revenue annually. Well, look, if you can't make your business run, well, then maybe you shouldn't be in the free market, right? I mean, that's what I hear from the Republicans and conservatives all the time. Free market, free market. Well, what do you need $125 billion in subsidies for? If you can't make it without those, I'm tired of giving it to you. We've been giving it to you for over 50 years now over 60 years that we've been giving these subsidies to these energy companies, these nuclear guys. And if you still haven't figured out how to make a profit, well, then maybe you shouldn't be in business. But if you think all that is bad, there's one other thing that they're not telling you, which is that ultimately we're the insurance of last resort for the nuclear industry. So, right, insurance is like, what? Insure the nuclear guys? We're not going to do that. What if there's a meltdown? We'd never be able to pay. So who's on the hook for that? You guessed it, you, me, American taxpayers. How much are we on the hook for? $720 billion. That is the amount of property damage that could happen in a nuclear meltdown, and then the United States taxpayers would have to pay for it. This is not a sustainable industry. And no matter how much subsidies we've pumped into it, no matter how much American taxpayer dollars we've given away, they're still not sustainable. And meanwhile, when we give a fraction of that money to solar energy companies, wind energy companies, etc., the Republicans cry and cry and cry. Why? Because, of course, the nuclear industry has been pumping money into the politicians for the last 60 years. They're all bought and sold by these guys, as they are with the oil companies. So they don't want new energy to challenge the monopoly that old energy has, because they're bought by old energy. So it's not just that they want to help these guys because they get paid by them. They also want to kill their competition because they hate the free market. They don't believe in the free market at all. They get paid by these giant corporations to kill their competition. That's why the Republicans despise new forms of energy and will pump billions of dollars of taxpayer money into these, in the case of nuclear energy, unprofitable companies. In the case of the oil industry, incredibly profitable companies who certainly don't need our subsidies. That's Republican 101. Unfortunately, this day and age, it's not just Republicans, of course. It's politicians 101 here in the United States of America. Crony capitalism through and through. Wild, horrible inefficiency through and through. And that's because we decide who wins our elections based on who raises more money. And they raise more money from these corporations that they then owe favors to. It's the most obvious thing in the world. Except apparently, very few people in Washington have figured it out. Or I should put it this way. People in Washington have figured it out. They love it. Like, yeah, this is how we make money. People in the media, and I say this earnestly, look, there might be editors, there might be producers, there might be the executives in the media who know how this game is played, and they love this game. And because where do most of the political ads go? They go on television. So the media companies get richer, among the many reasons why, right? But the actual anchors they select and the reporters they select and producers they select oftentimes have no clue. They don't even know. Erin Burnett doesn't know why she was selected. She thinks she's doing a fantastic job. She was selected to make sure that she never points stuff like this out. And that she never points out, hey, you know what? Maybe the politicians are the ones that do favors for these crony capitalists. And so the most obvious, biggest factor in American politics is almost never mentioned on television.